from the poor grandparents who were gruesomely murdered by their granddaughter, whom they took in and cared for.
Yeah, he started going at it, and then, I could hear my grandpa just yelling, them fighting, and then I started getting the rush, and then, that's when I started hitting my grandma in the head.
So you took the tire iron, is it just...
I started just beating her head with it, and it was kind of creepy, because she was, scared to death.
To the crazy girlfriend who pretended to be asleep while she stabbed her baby daddy 19 times.
I was sleeping, and then I don't know, I was half awake. I didn't get much sleep last night, I don't know why. And then I came out and I saw something, over him. So I don't know, what was, real and not real.
Okay.
I don't know if I was dreaming.
Here are two of the most insane cases where innocent people's lives were cut short by people they'd never have imagined, their own family. Starting with the story of the crazy granddaughter, whose actions gained nationwide attention. On April 8th, 2017, an unbelievable event unfolded in Gwinnett County, Georgia. 911 dispatchers received a call from a woman, Tomoko Ryder, reporting that her 19-year-old son, Johnny Ryder, and his 17-year-old girlfriend, Cassandra Bjorge, had broken into their home. They attacked her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend, but fled when outnumbered upon her arrival. This assault put Cassandra and Johnny on the police radar. But what officers didn't yet realize was that this incident was just the tip of the iceberg compared to the heinous crime they would soon uncover. When Johnny and Cassandra fled from Johnny's parents' house, they stole his sister's car and abandoned the original vehicle they came in. In a twist of fate, when officers ran the plate of the abandoned car, they discovered it belonged to 63-year-old Randall Bjorge, Cassandra's grandfather, with whom she and her grandmother, 63-year-old Wendy Bjorge, had been staying for over a year. This revelation was shocking because police had conducted several welfare checks on Randall and Wendy since March 28, 2017, a week prior to finding the car, prompted by concerns from family members who hadn't heard from them. Despite multiple welfare checks where nobody answered the door, officers refrained from forced entry as they didn't detect any suspicious activity at the time. However, following the discovery of the car, the police determined that they needed to use force to ensure the well-being of Randall and Wendy Bjorge. On April 9th, 2017, a day after finding the car, officers forcibly entered the house to find it scattered and ransacked. And that wasn't the most shocking of their discovery. Randall and his wife were found dead in the bathroom, bearing multiple injuries and cuts. Autopsy's results confirmed their cause of death as throat incisions from sharp force injuries. At this juncture, Johnny and Cassandra were not only wanted for assault, but also double homicide. The officers intensified their search, locating them hiding at a friend's residence. Surrounded at their hideout, and with arrest imminent, both Johnny and Cassandra attempted to evade punishment by cutting their wrists with knives in an attempt to do the unthinkable. However, their plan failed, as they were both rescued by police. While the police had both Johnny and Cassandra in custody, they remained in the dark about what had truly happened. Johnny refused to speak with the police and requested legal representation. However, it was a totally different case with Cassandra, as she was super emotional and had clearly had a lot to say to the police.
What happened here?
I tried to kill myself.
Why would you do that, sweetie? Tell me why.
I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't know where else to go. I didn't know what else to do. And then one night I just got really angry and depressed, and I don't know, I just felt like the whole world was kind of just collapsing on me, and I just wanted to end it.
Observing Cassandra's emotional vulnerability, the officers seized the opportunity to attempt to get a confession from her.
I think you know why I'm here. I just need to understand why. Talk to me, please. What I can't do, I can't talk to you unless you be honest with me.
I wasn't the one who intentionally thought about doing that.
What about doing what?
Say it. Once you say it, it's out.
Killing my grandparents.
The officers had all they needed for trial at this point. However, they sought specific details regarding the condition of Cassandra's deceased grandparents' remains, which were found severely brutalized as revealed by the autopsy. After waiting for Cassandra to recover from her injuries, she was brought to the police station for interrogation, an interrogation so wild it left cops in total disbelief.
There you go.
I don't see.
You can have a seat right here.
Okay.
Pull you in a little bit.
Second, you guys use the bathroom?
Mm-mm.
Can you grab the cutters?
Yep.
The detectives brought burgers and drinks for both Cassandra and themselves during the conversation, an unconventional tactic that proved highly effective. This approach helped Cassandra feel at ease, fostering a false sense of friendship with the officers. However, she would soon come to realize just how far from the truth that perception was.
You into sports? Obviously, I guess was told the karate stuff.
Kung Fu, yeah.
What's up with that stuff?
Is
it kung fu? Is that what it's called?
Well, I did this martial arts called Tang Soo Do for 6 years, and that's South Korean. And then I grew out of that, and then I found Shaolin Gong Fu, which is basically Kung Fu, but that's what they call it in Chinese. And so I started doing that, and I've been doing that for 4 or 5 years.
I actually heard you're pretty good at it.
Yeah, I'll go to
I was
tournaments.
confident.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go to tournaments all the time. I went to China for a month last year.
They got friendly with her for a bit, then switched up the conversation to more pressing issues, asking how her grandparents ended up in such a gruesome state.
The plan was that we were both gonna get both of our families, but first we got my grandparents. Then that's why we went over to Johnny's house and we attacked his sister and her boyfriend because he wanted to kill his family.
Okay.
So that's like, we stayed in town for a couple days because, we wanted to get some money, we wanted to get ready to leave. And then that plan, just going over to his house, kind of just like, it didn't work out at all. It went downhill from there. That was Johnny's idea, because then that's the reason why he asked me if I wanted to kill my grandparents, because he wanted to already kill his family. And he was like, let's be Bonnie and Clyde.
She pointed out Johnny as the mastermind behind the entire killing spree, revealing that the assault on Johnny's sister and her boyfriend was not merely an attack, but a failed murder attempt. According to Cassandra, Johnny had orchestrated a plan for them to eliminate both their families, and unfortunately, Cassandra's grandparents were at the top of their list.
I guess let's start from scratch about what happened, starting from when you ran away, I guess. Is that the 31st? Do you remember? Or 28th or something like that?
I didn't really run away. My grandma, kicked me out.
Okay.
Because, this is what happened. I was chilling with Johnny and my other friend Sabrina, and I came home because, it was time for curfew, because I didn't want to violate my probation. So I came home, and my grandpa was asleep, and my grandma got really mad at me, and she was, saying, oh, if you don't like it here, we're just going to find somewhere else for you to stay. And she just said that out of the blue. She just got really mad for some reason. And so I was just like, if you're going to find another place for me to stay, I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to find somewhere else to go. So.
Apparently, Cassandra had been a troublesome child, prompting her mother to leave her at her parents' home in hopes of reform. However, her grandparents struggled to manage her behavior, resorting to calling the police over 35 times within the first year of her stay with them. During the conversation, Cassandra claimed that her grandmother had kicked her out of the apartment, leading her to move in with Johnny in his car, a decision which marked the beginning of the tragic chain of events that followed.
So I guess when do you decide to go back to your grandparents' house in the middle of the night?
I don't really remember, I didn't really even know, what day it was that we went into the house.
And before you did that, did you and Johnny meet up somewhere at a park or something
Yeah.
to talk about what's going on?
We went to Peace Ridge Park, and we talked about it. At first, it wasn't my idea at first.
How How did you even get, I guess, what was said? How did you even bring up? What was the context?
He first asked me, "Are you afraid to die?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said no. And then I asked him, "Are you afraid to die?" And he said no. And he was just talking about how we could like run away together, you know, that kind of like dream. And he asked me, he was like, "Would you kill your grandparents?" And I kind of like hesitated for a minute. And I was like, "Why?" And he was just like, "I don't know. I mean, because he knows probably everything that I've been through with all of my family. And he understands that, you know, like, all I really wanted to do was just kind of get away from everything, kind of just move on with myself. Like, I wasn't having a good relationship with my grandparents. Like, it started getting really bad, you know, like, I got a charge from them because, you know, like, I fought them, you know. I might have broken, like, my grandpa's ribs when, you know, for that charge for simple assault and simple battery, you know. And it just got really worse.
Was your mom ever part of the plan?
Of killing them?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to.
Was it something you and Johnny discussed, or is it something you
No.
just thought of?
Well, I mean, we did discuss it, but then Johnny was like, "No, we can't waste our time on them." And I was like, okay. But I wanted to.
Johnny kind of told you not to,
Yeah.
that it wouldn't be beneficial.
Yeah, because, you know, I don't know what's really going on with my parents, you know. I mean, we drove over by their house the other day. They have new cars, you know. I don't know what guns they have in their house, you know. I don't really know what's going on inside their house. So, I mean, I don't know.
You didn't know what you would be met with.
Yeah, I didn't.
Whereas your grandparents, you knew it was kind of a safe bet.
Even Cassandra's mother wasn't spared from their kill list. Although the fear of her owning a firearm ultimately deterred them, Cassandra also elaborated on how they entered her grandparents' house that night using the back door, which lacked an alarm system.
And we thought everything was good, and then we went upstairs and
Oh, did you guys have anything in your hands, or you just?
yeah, I had what's it called? It's one of those car tool things.
Is it to do a tire, or
Yeah,
is it
tire
to fix
iron.
it?
It was a
Okay.
tire iron. So I had one of those.
Where'd you get that at?
Johnny's car. 'Cause he
Okay.
had one in his car.
His Honda or
Mhm.
whatever.
And Johnny just used his fist. And he brought a black book bag that had duct tape in it, and it had the tire iron in it, and it had gloves in it, because we were also wearing gloves too.
Under further questioning from police, Cassandra finally revealed the big secret.
Who's first up the stairs? Is it you and he's kind of following you, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go upstairs, he goes into my grandpa's room, and then I go into my grandma's room.
Mhm. Do you hear kind of what's going on over there, and
Yeah.
does that kind of cue you off to
Mhm.
with your grandmother there?
Yeah, he started going at it, and then, you know, I could hear my grandpa just yelling, you know, them fighting, and then I started getting the rush, and then, you know, like, that's when I started hitting my grandma in the head.
So you took the tire iron. Is it just?
I started just beating her head with it.
Was
Yeah.
that the first hit?
Yeah,
The back of the head?
yeah. That's where I mainly hit her in the head. She
Oh.
bit me.
I think I took a picture of that yesterday, right?
Yeah, she bit me in my finger too, but I forgot which finger. It was on my right hand. I think it was either like my middle finger or it was that one.
When do you meet back up with Johnny? Do you leave your grandmother there, or kind of what happens?
So I started hitting my grandma, and I already had duct tape, and then, you know, Johnny's doing his thing, and, you know, I stopped hearing Johnny doing whatever. So he comes in the room with me and my grandma, and, you know, he helps me like tie up my grandma with the duct tape.
How did you do that? Is it just her hands, or
I got her hands, I got her whole head, and then I got her ankles.
okay, with her hands? I guess
It was behind her back.
so it's like just like this.
Yeah.
Okay. What about anything on her head or neck, or did you?
Yeah, we kind of like wrapped the duct tape around her head, ish, and then that was it.
What was that for? Just.
Just so then she kept it on.
Oh, okay.
Or just cause.
And you said her ankles too?
hmm
Okay. And Johnny helped you tie her up?
Yeah, I mean, I mostly did it, but I needed like a little bit of help because, you know, she was like, you know, moving around and stuff, and so he helped me a little bit, and then he went back into my grandpa's room.
It didn't even end here, as the worst part was yet to come.
What were you doing when you went back in your grandpa's room?
I was still with my grandma, and then
In her room?
yeah, and then I dragged her into my grandpa's room, and then Johnny asked me to go get some knives. So I got some knives from downstairs in the kitchen, and I got 3 like big butcher knives. And then that's when he started like stabbing my grandpa, because then I went back upstairs because I dragged my grandma into my grandpa's room, so they were both in there. And then I asked her for the code to her safe, because I already knew that she had a safe in her closet. I just didn't know it was in the safe. So, I mean,
Did she tell you?
yeah, I mean, like, she kept saying, like, I'll give you money, I'll give you my keys, you know, I'll give you anything you want. But, yeah, she just kept
Was she
saying,
able to talk with the duct tape around her face?
yeah, like, she was, like, mumbling. You could still understand her, but, like, at the same time, you couldn't.
It was wild to hear her describe how they continued to torture and ultimately kill her grandparents, even as they pleaded for their lives.
So you guys put that stuff in a bag, and then basically Johnny's in your grandpa's room with your grandpa and your grandma in the room. Do you come back in there and say, hey, I got this stuff, or what? Okay.
Yeah, I go back into the room, and I tell him that I got the stuff, and after that, he slits my grandpa's throat. And then we drag my grandma into the bathroom.
What was the reason for that? Just to bring her to the bathroom?
Yeah, I don't know why we brought her back into the bathroom. I guess we didn't want to bring her into the bedroom.
Okay.
So we just brought her into the bathroom. And then Johnny slit her throat too. And I actually hit her in the back of the head with the tire iron. Well, not the back of the head, but like right where your spine is. Because he was telling me, he was like, if you hit right there, like just one like good hit, you can just knock the person out and then they'll be dead. And she was like pretending to be dead for a while. Like I would, you know, check up on her and I would see that she was still breathing. And I'll be like, Johnny, she's still alive. What the heck? And then like Johnny finally like made the like last blow, and it was kind of creepy because she was like scared to die.
So you said the last blow though
Was just like the last hit, like that.
last hit with the tire iron? And who did that? You or Johnny?
Johnny.
Had her throat already been slit?
And then after he like did that, then he slit her throat.
The police remained baffled by Cassandra's confession and sought to understand if she believed her grandparents deserved such treatment.
Was there like ever a snapping point, or, I mean, do you feel bad about what happened? Do you think she deserves what happened, or what, you know, how are you feeling right now? I'm not in your shoes, you
With my
know?
grandparents?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel terrible. I mean, I feel like the worst person on the planet, but at the same time, it was kind of just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel heartbroken, but I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I'm really sad about it because, you know, like, there was so much stuff going on between me and my grandparents already. Like, I couldn't handle it anymore, you know, like,
Like you said with his follow-up question though, I mean, did they deserve it? Did grandma deserve it? Did grandpa deserve it? Or was it kind of just more getting away from your own family?
it was more kind of just getting away.
You don't think that grandma did anything?
I mean, I was pretty pissed at her for, you know, the couple times that, you know, like, she would call the cops on me for, you know, no reason sometimes, or, like, a lot of the stuff that she would say would be really offensive because it would be about my mom.
She further admitted that she and Johnny resided in the house for over a week after the murder, continuing their daily routines, including eating meals, inviting friends over, and even engaging in sexual activities while her grandparents' bodies decomposed. They went as far as pouring bleach on the bodies to mask the odor. At that point, the officers had heard more than enough and were deeply critical of her actions and complete lack of empathy towards her grandparents.
Okay, let me ask you this then. You literally have showed no emotion towards your grandparents, and I don't have a problem. Like, I don't know the life that you were having, and I guess I can kind of understand that you wanted to sever that part of your life and start over again, okay? But why are you showing emotion with when I brought up Sunshine? What the hell is this chick? You know what I'm saying?
She's just a close friend. She was there most of the time when I was going through the stuff with my parents.
Anything else? It only seems that you're sorry you got caught, that you had people over after. You don't seem to be sorry that you killed your grandparents.
I am.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. Knock if you need anything.
Both Cassandra and Johnny faced multiple charges, including murder, aggravated assault, armed robbery, and theft. They were each sentenced to 2 life sentences with the possibility of parole after 60 years, having pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty. If you're enjoying our content so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. The next case takes us to Wisconsin. On February 18, 2023, officers from the Oshkosh Police Department in Wisconsin responded to a residence following a call reporting a woman stabbing her boyfriend.
Who is injured and where are they? Where is the other person?
She's right there.
Right, is it just the 3 of you? Okay.
Help me, please. Please help me.
Yep, ambulance is downstairs. 403, oh, if you can come up. Everything's calm. Where are you hurt?
I can't. I'm getting lightheaded. I need help.
Will you come? He's downstairs.
Can you tell me to call my dad, please?
Have you got shoes or something you can...
No, they're downstairs.
Okay.
He found the victim, whose identity was withheld by the police department, bleeding heavily and expressing symptoms of lightheadedness. Morgan Lund identified the 22-year-old girlfriend accused of stabbing him was also present, covered in blood and attending to his injuries. A confusing sight for the officer. He quickly separated Morgan from the scene and attempted to interrogate her, seeking to understand what had transpired.
What is your name?
Morgan Lund. UND. Stop, no.
Who are you saying stop to?
She appeared disorientated and was possibly experiencing hallucinations, which could have stemmed from trauma or perhaps as a tactic to claim mental illness in a bid to avoid punishment. Whichever it was clear that the officer would not obtain any useful information from her at that moment. So, he proceeded to question her brother, who had made the 911 call.
Okay, is that your sister?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened?
Just sleeping.
You were sleeping, okay.
Sleeping, and I just hear screaming. I thought they were just fighting like normal. And it starts getting loud. What the hell?
Was he screaming back at her?
It was kind of like a... I don't even know, like, get off me, help. I just got me.
And that was him saying that?
I don't even remember.
Okay.
And open the door. They're on top of each other.
What do you mean on... So they both were on top of each other?
He was like on top of her trying to take the knife out of her hand or something. I don't know.
Okay. So, how was she positioned? Like, when you say when he was on top of her, was he like straddling her?
Yeah, he like had her wrist down.
And then holding her wrist, like straddling her like that? Okay.
And then...
Was he bleeding area at that time?
Yeah.
Where was he? Where'd you see?
His arm and stuff, and then I seen the couch. Help. Go over there. I don't even know. That was like when it was ending.
Okay. Was she saying anything at this time?
She's just freaking out. I don't know. She said she doesn't even know what happened. That she was seeing stuff in a dream or something, and then realized it was real.
Okay. Does she suffer from mental health?
I think since she's had a kid, because
That's their kid?
Yeah, and then I just went out there, ran out, called the cops.
Okay, so you think since she had a kid?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. Does she do any drugs?
No.
Does she drink?
I mean,
Okay.
she goes out with her friends.
Okay, but no illegal drug use that you're aware of?
No.
Okay, and that's niece?
Yep.
One thing became evident from his testimony. Morgan had indeed stabbed her boyfriend. Additionally, her brother indicated that he observed signs suggesting she might have been struggling with postpartum mental health issues, a condition not uncommon among women who have recently given birth.
And then afterwards, she told you she doesn't know what happened or doesn't remember anything?
Well, not that she doesn't remember, but it's like she's saying like she basically didn't have control of what she was doing or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I really because I was calling you guys.
Did she say it might have been a dream? Go back into that.
Yeah. She's kind of saying like she was, so like as I'm calling you guys, that she was like, dreaming or something, and then like seeing something in her head. I don't really know. Got a lot of relationship problems.
Okay.
So.
So this fighting minus the actual injuries is not uncommon.
No.
So they argue a lot.
Yes.
Are they physical a lot? No, just verbal arguments a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also mentioned the couple's significant relationship problems, which resulted in her boyfriend sleeping on the couch rather than in the bedroom with Morgan. A testimony which hinted at a possible motive for why she may have resorted to stabbing her boyfriend. Subsequently, the officer revisited Morgan in an attempt to gather more information, recognizing that her brother's testimony only addressed the moments following the stabbing. They sought to understand the events leading up to the incident.
Morgan, can you tell me a little bit more about...
No!
No? And why is that? Do you feel...
No!
Why are you saying no? I don't understand what you're reacting to right now. Are you just scared about the situation, or do you not want to talk to me?
I want my dad. I want my dad to come here.
Okay. I understand that, but you're an adult, so I need you to make your own decision about whether or not you're going to talk to me, okay? What?
What do I need to tell you?
The questions that I was asking.
I was sleeping, and then I don't know. I was like half awake. I bring her out here every morning to fever. And I mean, I've seen the same thing before. I've never done anything like that.
You have seen the same thing before. Okay. Have you ever had any kind of medical treatment for anything like that? Have you seen a doctor, a psychologist, counselor, anything like that?
I'm too embarrassed to talk to anybody.
Okay.
She reiterated her brother's claim of her experiencing mental health issues and hallucinations, maintaining that she had refrained from seeking medical help out of embarrassment. However, this explanation appeared convenient, as consulting a doctor would have provided concrete evidence of her struggles with her condition, as hospital records would corroborate her claims.
No,
Do you remember coming out here? And were you asleep immediately?
We're coming out here again.
Okay. 6 a.m.
I got her out at 6.
And then you went back to bed. Is that right?
Yeah, I went back to bed. I didn't get much sleep last night. I don't know why.
Okay.
And then I finally fell asleep.
And you what?
I finally fell asleep and I was seeing all these weird things. I don't know. There's blood all over me.
But you don't remember coming back out, but you do remember seeing something.
It was like in my head though. It wasn't real. And that's when I was like, what is going on? I didn't know what was happening.
Can you describe for me what you saw?
It was like, I don't know, it was like something black.
Should you get the scissors away?
No, it's still there.
And then he was like, I felt like, I don't know. But it was like, then I was like, is he attacking the thing that I saw? I don't know, I was all confused. Like I thought I saw something that wasn't happening.
Right.
Her speech was mumbled, and she struggled to articulate herself or maintain focus. The officer, wanting to clear out all possible scenarios, asked more crucial questions.
What is this in your hand?
It's a tape.
Okay.
Just help me calm down.
Sure. Do you take any other medication right now?
No.
Okay. Had you been drinking at all last night?
No.
No?
I was supposed to work today.
Okay. And you would not be in any trouble for it at all, but have you used any kind of recreational drugs?
No. I never
Okay.
did.
Not even like simple things like weed or anything like that?
No.
No?
Oldie vape, that's all I do.
Okay.
As she confirmed that her actions were not influenced by alcohol or drugs, all signs pointed to one possibility. Either she was genuinely experiencing a mental breakdown, or she carried out a vendetta against her boyfriend amid their impending breakup. Wanting to ascertain the truth, the officers continued to interrogate her.
I should have got help. I should have just got help from this and I should have told people about it.
How long have you had those
Like a
experiences?
year, or like a half of a year, I don't know.
Half of a year?
Like this past year it started happening, I don't know.
Okay. You're 21?
Yeah. So 2022 it started happening.
So whenever you see these things, how do you feel?
I just felt like my heart was beating really fast. I was really scared.
Okay.
And I feel like completely somebody else.
You feel like somebody else?
Like it's not even me. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
Do you usually see the same thing?
And I feel like somebody else. It feels like it's not even me.
If you had to physically describe what you were seeing, like big or small, black or white, gray, blue, whatever.
It was like a blob.
Like a blob.
Like a black blob. Like a blob, but like a figure.
Okay.
Here, I could hear him. Yeah.
Who?
And then I came out and I saw something, like over him. So I don't know, like what was like real and what's not real.
Okay.
I don't know if I was dreaming.
But the other experiences that you've had have been when you were awake?
Yeah, or like half awake.
Okay. Right before you went to bed or right after you woke up?
Both.
Both.
No,
But it's
no,
usually-
I would never do that. I would never
Right.
do that to him.
But it's usually that same sort of dark figure that you see?
Yeah, but it's something in my head. It's not like, I don't know how to explain it.
But when you see it, your heart beats really fast and you feel afraid.
And I just feel like something's taking over me, like, I don't know, and now it's like, everything's normal.
And that happens every time.
It was quite convenient that the black figure she claimed to see wasn't present on either her baby or her brother, but rather upon her boyfriend, whom she was at odds with. Upon her confirmation of stabbing her boyfriend, the officer proceeded to arrest her.
After the 2 days,
We'll work through it. We'll just work through
so
it.
you guys you know what's gonna happen.
We don't
You guys are
actually.
telling me.
Genuinely
Like,
do not.
what's most likely in this?
We don't ever know.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Like
We've been lying to
seen
you to get it.
before.
And
My
honestly-
dad worked for a prison for so long, and I worked at the mental health institute. I've seen like things like this, and I just want to know like what's most likely gonna happen to me.
I've been doing this for 12 years and I've never been in this situation before.
No.
So this exact situation, and
I mean,
each
like-
one is a little bit different,
So
but this
Okay.
exact
What
situation,
I will ask, not to intervene, is
Yeah.
your mom and dad are outside. They're gonna
They're
take the
gonna
little
see
one.
me.
Is it possible, Miles, to cuff her at the vehicle?
Sure, where is it?
Yeah, I'm
They're
not gonna
outside.
do anything.
I just don't want them to see her being cuffed. Are you okay?
Yeah, I
with
don't
that?
want to.
Fortunately, her boyfriend survived the incident despite being stabbed over 19 times with scissors. However, in court, the jury did not believe her plea of mental illness, especially when her boyfriend testified that they were planning to break up and the relationship had been extremely abusive. As a result, Morgan Lund was charged with attempted first-degree intentional homicide and was sentenced to 7.5 years in jail. If you enjoy true crime content like this, please like, subscribe, and watch this one.